Everybody, welcome back to the shop. Thank you for joining me. It's been a little while since we've last spoken this way on video. Hope you haven't missed me too much. I've been busy with a few family things. We're expecting in the first bit of the new year, so I've been kind of preparing for that and enjoying some family time. But I'm back in the shop and I'm ready for the West Coast Pipe Show, or almost ready. So I have some mugs and I have some hats. And here's what I'm thinking. If I see you with a Jared Coles or J&J pipe and you're smoking it at the show, on the show floor, free mug, one per customer. So if you bring a pipe and I see you smoking it on the show floor, free mug. And if you buy a pipe from me at the show, free hat. It's not bad. Hopefully that's a little bit of an incentive for you guys to come and enjoy yourselves. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you all and seeing everybody there. It's a pretty laid-back show. It's my kind of home base show, so I really enjoy it. And you get to smoke on the show floor, which is kind of a rarity these days. So, down to business. I know what you guys want to see, and I'm going to show you. So these are the pipes that are finished already. And if you want to see the pipes that I'm going to be finishing up this week as I prepare for the show, look at Instagram. That's the best place to look. I'll be posting there periodically over the next few days to kind of show off what I'm finishing between now and then. But in the meantime, here's a cool little horn Dublin thing. It's a little asymmetrical, but it's got a nice blast on it, and it has this really cool smooth panel on the rim, the shank face, and all along the bottom. It really sets it off nicely. It's got a deep chamber, kind of narrow, so it's probably a great flake pipe for those of you who like flake, and I think it's going to sit really nicely in the jaw because of the bend. Here's a little speeding brandy, I guess you could call it. Nice grain, nice chamber. It's got a teardrop shank. So I guess technically you could call it a blowfish if you'd like. Got a little copper inset for the military mount. Just a sweet pipe all around. I think you'll like it, just like I do. This one's really fun. I think it's 24 grams if I remember correctly. Tan blast, really light so it'll darken as you smoke it, and it's got a really sweet Cumberland green, black, and with just hints of purple in there. Very subtle, and it really sets off the tan blast nicely. So this is a scallop, I guess I'd call it, because it has the continuous line. And the line continues through the saddle, and so it's unbroken, which I've been playing with lately. I really like that. This little guy is really neat. Pretty light, nice bend to it, pretty generous chamber for the size. Military mount. Just a real cute pipe, very nicely stacked ring grain here, if that's your jam. A little subtle teardrop here, so I guess technically you could call this a blowfish again. This one I'm quite proud of. Rounded acorn with exquisite grain, military mount. Just a really, really solid pipe. I am quite taken with it. I think you will be too. Here's another really nice pipe with really nice grain. And again, it's got a teardrop here, so I guess technically it's a blowfish, but I usually think of these kinds of things as full bent brandies or what have you. But it's got a little subtle thing going on with the flare here that sort of sets off the angle of the shank. And a nice generous chamber, full bend if that's your thing. Wonderful grain. And here's a little straight apple with the oval shank and a little horn inset there with grain that will make you go crazy. Like some of the bird's eye on this side is just silly. Both sides, just silly. So small pipe, very light. If you like the more traditional shapes, I think you'll like that a lot. Here's something really fun. Not sure what to call this. A Dublin, I guess, is the word you use, but mushroom might be more appropriate. It's got a teardrop shank meeting up with a teardrop rim. The line here. Really nice grain, really fun shape, and I think I executed it pretty well. It's got a saddle that kind of is a little off to match the shank face. Gives it a nice energy. I think you'll like it when you see it. Here is a smooth, what I'm going to call a tokumedo. So asymmetrical bowl. Nice long shank with a little plateau here and a saddle kind of inset into the plateau, matching it. This is just, the shape of this is kind of mesmerizing. I think you'll like this one as well. And if that's a little too funky for you, I've got a billiard here. Two kinds of Bakelite and a contrast blast. So you get a little fun color stuff even though you're smoking a traditional pipe. The stain is pretty light, so I think it's going to color up nicely as you smoke it, just like the Bakelites will do. It's got a little yellow Bakelite and a little pale yellow Bakelite and some amber Bakelite. So I think those go nicely together with the contrast blast. It's just, I love billiards, so I love that one. Back to something a little more funky. An asymmetrical volcano with great grain, nice light stain, quite, well, pretty bent. Nicely sized chamber, fairly deep. This is solid pipe. I really like it. All right, back to traditional. Just a straight pot, nice big chamber. I don't usually make chambers this large, but I've been kind of feeling them a little bit more lately. I like the length of the smoke and the quality of the smoke a little bit more. I don't know if you go through seasons as a pipe smoker. I've been, for a long time I like smaller bowls with flake, and now I'm kind of getting into more of the ready rub and the larger chamber. It's got a nice little boxwood ring here. Just a really solid smoking machine. And here's a chubby little billiard. Nice blast. And there's a little blue and green inset here on the stem just to give it a little little flavor. But this is a really solid pipe as well. This is like a utility pipe. So go anywhere, and the finish is really nice wearing. So you can take it a lot of places and not be afraid of it getting too beat up. This one of my favorites. Quite large. Natural stain, so it'll darken if you smoke it. And same with the bamboo here. They match nicely. It sits, and it's got domed rim here. I don't know. I really like the flow of this pipe. It does something for me. Hopefully it will you as well when you see it. And here's another slightly larger pipe. Long shanked acorn, and it's got blue ebonite and that amber bakelite that go really well with this kind of brown and yellow stain I've got going on here. And the grain is just really special. Yummy. So that's what I've got finished so far. I'm going to have some more as I get closer to the show, which is coming up really quickly. So I'm going to be pulling some long days and nights here. Remember, bring your pipes to the show, your Jared Coles pipes or your J&J pipes. If I see you smoking them on the show floor, mugs for you. And if you buy a pipe at the show, get a hat. And those are limited in number, but I think I've got enough to cover everybody who wants one. So if you're worried, if you really have to have the hat, find me soon. So I'll bid you adieu for now. I can't wait to see you all at the show. And I can't recommend, especially this show, enough. It's very laid back, and you can smoke on the show floor, and just like all shows, it is a gas. So, see you soon. Thank you.